How are they getting away with this? This has to be one of the biggest threats to our democracy.
You seem to be hiding behind this process. Why won't you simply tell us tonight who are your 5 biggest donors?
The Labour Party received £4 million from Cayman Island. Last year, the company invested over $170 million into fossil fuel companies. Isn't climate change the biggest threat according to Labour Party?
Action on the climate and nature crisis will be central to all that the Foreign Office does.
Are we being taken for fools here? The same company that donated to Labour Party also invested $37 million into arms manufacturing companies. Is that why we sent money to Ukraine to keep fighting, because these guys need to make money from it?
That we stand with you for as long as it takes, with whatever it is.
This is insane. Holy cow, guys. What I've just found is insane. I can't wait to tell you guys what I just found. It's stupidly insane. Brace yourself for an impact, because this video is bigger than what you think. So, remember our Prime Minister, Starmer, when he was going around talking, criticizing Rishi Sunak for his previous role in the making money jobs that he had, and he was criticizing hedge fund managers, hedge fund investors, and big corporation. Remember that?
On the question of the hedge funds, we have raised this before. I think it is relevant in this election for the electorate, for the voters to know, what did the 2 candidates for Prime Minister do before they came into politics? I was working for the Crown Prosecution Service in the way I've just described, trying to protect those who live in the United Kingdom from crime. Rishi Sunak was making money, betting against the country in the financial crisis. I think that's for him to answer as to what he was doing before he came into politics.
Well, we just learned that the Labour Party's biggest donation came from Cayman Island. And we all know whoever's setting up a business over there or setting up a hedge fund over there is because they don't want to pay heavy taxes in the UK or in America or anywhere else. This is not just a normal donation. This donation was not made public to you and me while we were trying to vote for people. Why would they hide those information? Why would they hide the people who are bankrolling them? Did they not want us to know who's funding them? Did they not want us to know who's going to be dictating what's going to be going on in the country? Because we all know whoever donates to somebody has an agenda. Maybe they're going to gain something later down the line. Why did they not want us to know that?
Why haven't you declared all the major donors who are funding your leadership campaign?
Well, at the beginning of the campaign, the Labour Party set out the rules that we should all comply with, and they briefed us on it. And they involve doing the necessary checks on any donations, and then passing it to the parliamentary authorities so that they could be published. And I'm following those rules.
But that's process.
That's not process, that's the rules.
You're following the process, but there's a bigger principle at stake, that Labour Party members who are being asked to vote for you should know who's bankrolling your campaign.
That is why the Labour Party set up those rules.
But you won't tell us.
The Labour Party rules say, carry out the checks, which we have to carry out, and I've got a compliance team doing that. Once you're satisfied the checks are carried out and the donations are proper in order, they go to the parliamentary authorities who put them on the parliamentary website so that everybody can see them. I've been following that procedure. That is exactly the parliamentary rules.
But the other candidates in this contest have published who is bankrolling their campaign. You seem to be hiding behind this process. Why won't you simply tell us tonight who are your 5 biggest donors?
Andrew, how can you say I'm hiding behind a process when it's the Labour Party process? The Labour Party, beginning
because you're hiding behind the process.
No, the Labour Party said,
why don't you do what the other candidates do and tell? Don't Labour members have a right, as they decide whether to vote for you or not? They want to know where your money's coming from.
I've been asked that many times. I've said it's coming from trade unions, from crowdfunding, from individual donations.
Who's your biggest?
Quadrita Capital Limited made £4 million donation to Labour Party on the 28th May 2024. It was not reported to the Electoral Commission until the 30th July 2024. Why would it take this long to report to us? This is where it gets ridiculously ugly. So the company Quadrilateral Capital from Cayman Island has shares worth of £100 million in fossil fuel, private health firms, and arm manufacturing and asset management companies. So let's just talk about fossil fuel, because we know the Labour Party think climate change is the biggest threat that we're gonna face. Bigger threat than Putin, bigger threat than the people coming in the boat, bigger threat than terrorism. They think that, and they want to put climate change the center of their policies. The Guardian's reported that over $170 million from Quadrilateral Capital has been invested into fossil fuel companies. That's a lot of money. And if they donate to Labour Party £4 million, and the Labour Party don't agree with fossil fuel, does that mean they're just losing their money? Or is there something that they're not telling us here? So Quadrilateral Capital seems like they have a lot of money, right? So let's see who else they invest in if it's not just fossil fuel. Where else can Labour Party help them in this donation that they're giving them? So it seems that there are £31 million invested into arm manufacturing Northrop Grumman, and they also have $6 million into Lockheed Martin. Then they also invest into US private health companies such as United Health, $31 million into that, and HCA Healthcare, $16 million into that, and some of the largest asset management companies like Blackstone, $22 million into that, and KKR, $7 million into that. These asset management would potentially be the ones that Starmer will be hiring to come and build and invest into infrastructure here in the UK. We've seen he promised us all that, right? So is that where Quadrilateral Capital will be making their money back from here? Let's dig deeper and find out how Quadrilateral Capital will be making their money back after donating £4 million to the Labour Party. How would the Labour Party help them make that money back? So they also invest into tech firms. And one of the biggest tech firms that they invest in, one of the biggest company that they invest in is Palantir. $71 million they have invested into Palantir company. That's a lot of money. And they also have $8 million invested into Oracle. Quadrilateral Capital has came out and said that the £4 million donation to Labour Party was not any political donation. It was just a way for them to support a social cause. I don't believe it, and I think most of you guys should be very hesitant in believing this. Here's what I think. For somebody to donate £4 million to somebody, it's either they're gonna get it back some way or another, or maybe these guys will make the lot easier for them to make it back through another way. Right? That's what I think. That's what it's always been like that. So how are they gonna make their money back? If it's not through fossil fuel, we've seen no. Is it gonna be from arm manufacturing? Is it gonna be from asset management? Is it gonna be from private health? Because the Labour Party doesn't agree with private health to the point where Starmer would rather have his loved ones die than go into private hospital.
If you had loved ones on a long waiting list for surgery, would you, if you felt that that was the only way forward, use private healthcare? Rishi Sunak?
Yes.
Keir Starmer?
No.
So it's not going to be private healthcare. Is it going to be through arm manufacturing? Or is it going to be through asset management? Or is it going to be tech firms? I don't know. Let's dig deeper, right? Let's find out more, right? Remember when Keir Starmer went into Ukraine and approved £3 billion every year to Ukraine? Remember that? Yeah, I wasn't happy. A lot of people wasn't happy. Okay, then this article came out where the Ministry of Defence announced £6.5 billion investment to enhance a rapid delivery of advanced complex weapons such as Storm Shadow, Brimstone and Meteor missiles to the armed forces. Remember that? Oh, you probably wasn't aware with this because it didn't go very far, it didn't go fast, right? Because they didn't want to get people worried. But then on the 13th of September, Starmer went to US to meet Joe Biden to ask him for permission to let Storm Shadow missiles to be used by Ukraine deep into Russia's territory, which would have caused World War III. Why would he do that? Oh, was he doing it because Quadrature Capital needs to make their money back? So okay, that failed because Joe Biden said, no, you're not going to use that. But we can still see clearly that he wants the war to happen. He's not trying to get Ukraine to get a deal with Putin to end the war. No, he's trying to get these guys to keep on fighting because he knows Quadrature Capital is going to make their money from there. They need to make their £4 billion in donation back and more. If war carries on, Quadrature Capital has investment into manufacturing companies. They're going to make their money back from that. Okay, so no war is happening right now. Okay, so how else is Quadrature Capital making money? How else? Here's how they're making money. Remember the biggest company that Quadrature Capital invests in? Palantir? Yeah, that's the one. Because here's what Palantir does.
Palantir Technology is a software company that specializes in big data. And big data meaning they create war algorithm. And they're the first ever technology company that's working in war, where they make the machines more accurate, they make the speed accurate, they make drones and all these sort of things that can go directly and target and not miss. That's what this company is doing right now. And this Quadrature Capital has over 71.
Guess where Palantir company is working right now? Guess who they're working for right now? Oh, have you not guessed it already? Why do you think he gave £3 billion to Ukraine to keep on fighting? Because his biggest donor needs Palantir to keep on working because they are making money from it. Oh man, this is dirty, man. So Palantir Technology Inc. is already working and it's already pumping money, killing people in Ukraine and Russia. And Quadrature Capital is already making money from it. And guess what? We, the taxpayer, are funding it. Because when this guy got in power and sent £3 billion to Ukraine, approved that for every single year, that means Ukraine is able to keep on fighting. The longer the war goes, the more money these guys make. Are you not seeing this? Oh, this is dirty. Oh, I didn't see that side of Starmer. No way. I thought it was a puppet, but not this big of a puppet.
An article was published last month by the New Statesman titled "The New Battle for Ukraine's Reconstruction." It goes on by saying BlackRock CEO Larry Fink saying that the reconstruction of Ukraine will be a cash cow, and it will be a beacon to the rest of the world about the power of capitalism. That's very sad. Then he goes on saying that this is the opportunity to revive a waning faith in capitalism. Really? People are dying and all these guys are just thinking on how they're gonna make money?
People are dying in Ukraine and these guys are gambling to find who's gonna build it or who's gonna destroy and who's gonna make money from it. Businesses are fighting, investing money into politicians to keep the war going on. And that's what our leader is doing. He's keeping the war in Ukraine going on. So the $4 million or the £4 million that was donated to his party to put him in, so those guys can make their money back through that war. This is dirty. As I said again, this is dirty. What the fuck? As I mentioned earlier in this video, this is bigger than you think. I'm going to keep following the money. I'm going to keep following the trends and see how further down it goes and how much money they're making from this and if Starmer himself are profiting from this. I think there's a lot of things that they're not telling us, and I think the nation needs to know. So thank you so much for watching. Please, I don't say this as much, but please subscribe if you got some value from this video. The goal is to hit 50k subscriber before next year. If we can get 100k, better, but 50 is the goal. Without further ado, guys, bye bye.